Hey everyone, my name is Savin, and I am so excited to be your instructor for this Introduction to React course on codingbootcamps.com. I'll be teaching you about React, which is a front-end library for building and defining user interfaces. I'm really excited to tell you guys more about this because it was built by Facebook in 2013 and has exploded in popularity ever since. It's one of the most in-demand skills in the industry today, with websites like Netflix, Twitter, and Facebook using them, and even desktop applications like Discord. React has also expanded into the mobile application realm with the introduction of React Native. The key idea with React is it fundamentally changes front-end development by allowing you to define reusable components of HTML and CSS that can automatically update as data changes. And so in this course, I'll be teaching you how to use this framework and other best practices for building user interfaces on the web or mobile or in desktop. Finally, one of the best things about React is the community. So if we take a look at this website, their official documentation is really good. They have main concepts, advanced guides, and a really solid API reference. And furthermore, they have an official tutorial for how to get started that you can go through on your own. If at any point in this course you need additional assistance, there is also private tutoring available. Thanks, and see you in the next video.
Another video. In this tutorial, we will be covering how to get started with React, now that you know what the framework is. Throughout this course, the IDE that we will be using is JetBrains WebStorm. It's a really nice IDE, and it has great autocomplete and features for getting set up and started. However, the choice of the IDE is entirely up to you. So you can use VS Code, Sublime Text, Atom, whatever suits your preference. But if you want to use WebStorm, once you've downloaded it, then go ahead and click Create New Project. And on the left-hand side, you can see that there are multiple options. In this course, since we're working with React, we're going to go ahead and select React App. However, if you wanted to create a mobile app with React, you would click React Native. Now all this is doing is it's running the command npx create react app. Create React App is a tool created by Facebook to make it really easy to get bootstrapped and started up with a regular React application with all of the infrastructure required. It's a Facebook repo, and it gives you things like, this is the URL by the way, if you wanted to look at it. Gives you features like JSX, ES6, TypeScript, and Flow syntax report. And more importantly, it has a live development server so that you can edit your code in real time and see the changes reflected immediately. So if you wanted to make this a TypeScript project, and we will go over that later, you would select this option. But for now, let's just leave everything as is and select Create. This will take about 1 to 2 minutes to get fully set up. So in the meantime, I'll go over the different methods of getting set up with React. So Create React App is the most common way to get set up. However, you can, as referenced in your course packet, simply use a basic HTML. In this situation, you would have a script tag, which includes the React and the React DOM packages. However, there are downsides. The main downside is it's more difficult to integrate and have the files work together. Instead of working with pure HTML by including scripts, you want to use the more advanced, the more recent JavaScript syntax of including modules by importing them directly using the import or the require syntax. The script tags are just more outdated, and you won't get a lot of the features that you would want with Create React App. So now that we can see that it is done and we've got the happy hacking message, we can go ahead and run the server to see what it looks like. So we'll go over to run, and then we'll click run npm start. And all this is going to do is create the basic React app that comes with Create React App by default. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate the advantages of Create React App right now. So as we can see, this is the website that is being generated on localhost port 3000. This is on your own server, running just on your laptop, and it is not publicly accessible on the internet. So if we go back to the IDE, we can go ahead and see that there are many files here. The only ones we're concerned with at the moment are in the source folder. And we'll go to app.js, which is sort of the entry point into your app in terms of the UI. So we can see on line 10 that it says edit src app.js and save to reload. And we can see that same exact line of text right here. So let's go ahead and do exactly what they're wanting us to do. Edit it and save to reload. So let's add hello world at the end. Now I'm going to save. And if we go back, it reflects immediately. And these are the benefits of Create React App, which we will go more in depth in on future videos. That's it for how to get set up with React in this video. If you have any questions, you can always refer to the Create React App documentation or the NPM documentation. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be going over Create React App in a little bit more depth than we did in the previous video. But in the previous video, which is session 1.2, we go over the installation instructions for how to get Create React App set up. And just as a brief primer and overview for how to do that, you go to File, New, Project, select React App, and this is going to be what's creating the React app. Using this command npx create React app, there are a couple of other methods of starting up the create React app process that are also mentioned in the course packet, which you can go through, and then you just click the create button down here. Other IDEs have similar ways of starting up create React app, or you can use the command line itself. So create React app is really great because it offers a number of benefits. This was developed by Facebook, and it's pretty much how all React app projects start in the first place. So we'll just go over the files a little bit so you can get a sense of the folder structure. Here we have the name of the project, which is untitled for me, but you can name it coding-bootcamps-react app course, something, whatever you want. Over here we have the git ignore. These are the files that Git will not track, and if you're not familiar with Git or GitHub, it's sort of a way to keep track of the versions of your project. It's a version control system. Anytime you make changes, you can save them. So this is not going to be relevant for us. We're not going to be using it in this course, but just so you know. The README, this is something that Create React App automatically creates, and this is what you see on GitHub pages. It's sort of going to be an explanation of what your project is, how to use it, and actually we can go ahead and go over the different scripts available. So we have yarn start, and this is if we go up here, run, npm start, it's the same as yarn start. Npm and yarn are both package managers that do the same thing. They're just in charge of kind of keeping track of the modules you've installed and also running the scripts. So yarn start runs the app in development mode, and if we go to localhost 3000, then it'll show up in our browser like we saw before, right here. And this is the basic React app default configuration. So we also have yarn test. This runs any test that you've defined. We don't have any right now, and that's beyond the scope of this course, but just so you know. And then we also have yarn build. So you might notice that when you're making React, it's a little bit slow in your development environment, and that's because it's not the optimized version. When you're ready to deploy in production, you can actually upload all of these files to a web server. You're going to want to compile it down to a single, maybe 2 HTML files, however many your pages require, and then however many JavaScript and CSS files are required. And that bundling process is going to be done by, ignore that. It's going to be done by the Create React app. So if we run yarn build, and we just go to the terminal right here, and we go yarn build, then it's going to go ahead and create that out for us. So we can see it's creating an optimized production build. Then finally, we have yarn eject. You will probably never have a need for this. Ejecting is a one-way operation, so don't try it out for fun, because once you do it, you can't go back. But so the build process is done. So now we can see there is, if we go into the Explorer, File Explorer, we can see a folder called build. And the build now has one index file, and then the static, it has a couple of JavaScript files. All of this is unreadable, by the way, which is why the build folder is just for when you want to deploy it to production. You just upload this single build folder, and that's it, you're done. The React is all built in, baked in for you. So going back to the folder structure again, we have the package.json, and this defines kind of the metadata for your project, the name of the project, the version of the project. The dependencies are all the modules you've added. So by default, Create React App adds a couple of modules. It adds React, React DOM, which is a way for React to interface with the DOM, which is the browser's